Hey Measuring Hero, Jay here. In today's global economy, it's been a little difficult for some companies to stay competitive, especially in this new market. So today we come to Austria, not too far from Vienna, to meet a company called Dynacast and see how they have risen to that challenge. Let's go meet them. All right, so to guide us on our journey about understanding about Dynacast is Valentin, quality manager of Dynacast here in Austria, yeah?
Correct, yeah.
Valentin, thanks for being our host and taking the time with us.
Thank you for being here.
Yeah, great. Okay, so my first question, can you help us understand a little bit about the history of Dynacast?
Sure, yes. Dynacast has a very long history, and we were founded during mid of last century. And since then, we were going through many evolution stages.
Yeah.
We started with producing elements for zip ties, and nowadays we're not only die caster, we're producers of precision metal components.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And so I'm guessing along the way from zippers to where you are today, there's many iterations, and there's must have been reasons, right? That you have to stay relevant and current. The market changes, the demands change, and thus
Correct.
You've had to change.
That's right, yeah.
well.
So we were always adapting to the customer, yeah. So there were many changes in customer requirements throughout the last years, and it was very tricky to keep on these requirements, yeah.
Sure.
One example is, for example, CNC machining. Yeah? So it's very important not to only offer die casting parts, it's also important to offer the value stream which is behind it.
Yeah.
CNC machining, washing, cleanliness is a very big topic, for
Those
example.
are all things. So if I hear that correctly, then it's obviously in your name is casting, but it was important to evolve beyond that. But casting is still a bit of your core competency. Is there anything technology-wise that makes Dynacast a special?
Definitely. So Dynacast is one of the worldwide leading die casting companies. But as I said, we're not only a die caster. Yeah? We're precision manufacturer. And what is making us very unique is that we are using 3 different alloys. Yeah? So we're not only casting one alloy or 2 alloys, we're using aluminium, we're using zinc and magnesium. And that's what makes us really special on the market, because we can adapt on the customer requirement and the customer needs, and we can some sort of stick in every single market which is existing. Yeah?
So widening the portfolio from just one material and giving your customers the ability to go back and forth between different, based
Correct,
on their
yeah.
needs is.
Correct.
Can you help me understand the difference between some of those materials,
Yeah,
or
sure,
why someone
sure,
would choose
sure.
one material over the other?
So aluminium is, let's say, during the last years, it was a standard in automotive industry. So, for example, heat sinks or ECU housings is something really common, which was used in aluminium. But over the past years, especially the last 3 or 4 years, the trend goes more to magnesium because it's more lighter and can be used also, for example, in e-bike housings, for example. And that's much more efficient and much more worthy for the customer, the end customer, as you might be when you're buying an e-bike. But zinc also is very important to be on the market because, for example, you have some consumer products. Yeah? When they should feel wealthy, they need to be heavier. Yeah, that's just an example.
A feeling.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
But only also in the automotive industry. Sometimes it's more important to have a heavier part. Yeah, in safety parts or wiper blades or whatever. Yeah, so it's definitely something really important. Yeah.
So it sounds important to add as a service for your customers the ability to go across materials. But we are now in your mold shop, so there's a lot of work happening here. That's so I'm assuming then that you also make your own molds and do your own mold.
Correct. Yeah, correct. That's a very, very important process here. Dynacast is usually coming from this part and this process. Yeah? So all the time since Dynacast is existing, we're building our own tools. So we have the possibility in-house to build exactly the tool we are then also producing within the serial phase. Yeah? That's giving us a huge advantage because we are much faster in reacting on maintenance and repair, whatever. Also the lead time till a tool is finished is much shorter than when we buy it external. Yeah? That brings us a huge advantage. Yeah?
So having competency in-house makes you a little bit more agile.
Correct. Cleanliness, very, very big topic, becomes bigger and bigger every year. And we are able, also after CNC machining, to clean the parts, according to customer specifications. So we have the possibility to pre-clean and to clean with modified alcohol, which brings us to many aspects and many advantages for the customer cleanliness. Yeah? And that's something which is in the meantime, or which should be in the meantime, state of the art for every die-cast shop.
No. So it sounds like not only your ability to be agile, but to also kind of, I'm sure the requirements of how clean, how good the parts need to be made is a new requirement that you've been able to meet.
Correct.
Sounds to me that through all of this, it sounds like an extremely manual process, takes a lot of labor to do that. Is there any way that, how do you deal with that?
Yeah, that's a very important point, because exactly what you're saying is the biggest problem, to be competitive, especially to the Asian market, especially to our competitors, it's very important to let's say save money in the very expensive processes, and that's why we really try to automate every single process which is able to be automized. Yeah? We are using cobots, we are using fully automized CNC machines. We are doing everything to also transform former manual processes to automated processes, and that's why also our core competence was raised during the last years, because we have a special machine tool shop internally and some experts internally which are just doing that to save us money due to automation.
So rising to the challenge of the new customer requirements and keeping costs lower to be competitive by utilizing automation, cobots, and whatnot. So it sounds. I am interested to see how maybe we at SAIS can keep up with all of that with you. Can we have a look at your lab and see how we can keep up? I'd be excited to see if we can keep up. Right?
Definitely.
All right, cool.
Yeah, okay.
Valentin, thank you. Okay, so to help us understand how this room, the quality room, keeps up with the innovations that goes on out there, Victor is here to help us explain to us. Victor, thanks for your time, appreciate it. But before we launch into the room, I understand your journey here is an interesting one too. Can you explain who you are, how you got here?
Yeah, I'm Victor, I'm 18 years old. I work at Dynacast since, it's my third year at Dynacast as an apprentice. I'm the first one of my kind. I was looking online a bit for an apprenticeship to start because I cancelled school. And then I was looking at 3 or 4 companies, but I didn't like them as much. Then I took a closer look at Dynacast and because it was so much fun, I applied for this job at Dynacast. After a short test, they took me as an employee.
Great.
Which was really great. Then I started in the zinc hall with the basics of machining, milling, working on the lathe, grinding, soldering.
It really had you out there
Yeah.
trying on the different, understanding the process.
Understanding everything. Then I first came in the measuring room for a longer period of time where I started to learn the basics of a CMM, like the programs and everything and how it all worked. And after a bit of a time I went out again to the other parts of the company to learn how our parts are produced and how they're manufactured, what could go wrong, where could quality issues occur, and to learn everything and to better understand where our quality issues come from and how to see them before something happens and everything like that.
So it sounds like Dynacast took the time to actually develop a metrologist, which I think you understand is not a typical thing. I've been in the industry for a long time. They just kind of threw us in it. So it's really special, the type of training that you got. It's cool to see that and I am beginning to understand how this room is special because it begins with good training, getting good people, but also there is a large amount of equipment here. What's this behind us?
This is our newest machine, the size multi-load.
Yeah.
We can put the parts in the machine, put them on the contraptions and start measuring them without having to be next to the machine all the time. It's an automatic machine. So I can start some part. Example, if I have some other parts I have to measure, I can start this machine and then I can, for example, on this one, start another part. And
now, this one is the interesting part because this looks like an old size machine. You know how old this is?
It's about 30 years old.
Wow.
It's our oldest machine, but it's still working great.
Yeah, that's awesome. So I think what I'm then again I'm hearing is that they take the time to train someone like yourself, and then they arm you with the technology to make you very efficient. You can be in two places at once, right? You can measure on this machine and that machine.
What's also very practical, if my shift ends, I can start this machine, and while I'm gone, while nobody's here, this machine can also run and measure things while no one is here.
You can work 2 shifts.
Yeah.
And well, you should get paid for 2 shifts, right?
I'm only getting paid for 1.
I also saw that you do an ATOS system.
Yeah.
There. How do you use that?
We have it, I think, about 2 years, and we use it to get more complicated parts measured that aren't as easy to measure on a tactile CMM, especially if it's a bit smaller things where you can't really put your tactical probe, where you can't come in quite easy, and it's also much easier to get many points. And our main usage right now is to look at parts, if they are maybe bent in a way, or how to correct the cast, if it's a new part. I am still learning with it because I started about 3 months ago. I played a bit, so I found out new stuff about it. It's really fun to use.
Yeah, always something to learn here. Well, Victor, I think we understand how this room is keeping up with the innovations out there, and I appreciate your time. Thanks for talking to us.
You're welcome.
Yep. And for you out there, hope you enjoyed our little look at Dynacast to see how a company here in the heart of Austria is able to keep up to speed and up to date with this fast-paced global economy. Hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to stay safe and stay healthy, and we'll see you next time.